All right. Yeah, I'm not able to I'm not able to share in groups anymore for the time being. So I'll just share this afterward. All right. I'm gonna just tag a couple people here, and I'm not exactly sure who. I'm just kind of going through a list and clicking some people that stand out, and then whatever they say. So, oh, my list ended. Nope. Okay, there we go. All right, so I am about to talk here about a lot going on. So there is so much that is gonna go down here. So I had read an article yesterday about okay, I hadn't read it yet. I saw the title, and it was entitled world events about to happen, and pretty much weather events that are about to happen, that will be happening, and how some elites were getting bunkers for this event. So I read maybe a paragraph through, and I started thinking, I'm not sure about this. So I consulted the angels. I called on the angels on the most divine high. When I call on this, the most divine, and I say that, I call on Mother Mary and Jesus, the loving angels, and talk to, share with God himself. So when I asked, is this true? They said, yes, this is true. So then they gave me a vision and showed me what is to come. So then I said, okay, I'm going to start reading. So I started to read after I had received this vision coming through, and it was about how we are going to have, within the next 10 years, they said about within the next 10 years, there will be a catastrophic world event. Okay? They took me back to a dream that I had probably about 5 years ago. So I had a dream about 5 years ago about about plates shifting underground in the ocean in the California area. It actually might have been longer than 5 years ago. Anyway, they took me back to this dream that I had, showing me that this is how this event is supposed to happen. Plates shift in the ocean underground, possibly causing other things to come about, like maybe volcanoes, earthquakes, of course, things like that. So then, as I started reading down this article even more, and I'm going to actually put the article, I will put it in the comments when I'm done with this video so people can see it. I asked them about the mapping that they had on this, showed in this article, and they said, yes, that's about accurate. So in this map of how the event is going to cause things, pretty much all of California is going to be gone. Pretty much all of China. All this is going to go underwater. And then we have other places that rise above the water. And this I thought was crazy, because I'm going to be talking again to spiritual people and also religious here, just mixing everybody, because I know it both, and try to talk to both, because to me it doesn't matter. We're all in this together. We seriously are, and we need to come together. So Lemuria and Atlantis are supposed to come up. So this is in a 10-year frame, they said. They say soon, and I say, well, in their time, soon can mean like 20 years, 30 years, so. And I want to touch on that real quick before I get more into that article and all that I read, and then consulted and asked about. So I want to bring up the fact that I am a medium and a channel with the divine and with the angels, archangels, Jesus, Mother Mary, and I do communicate with God regularly. Now, he doesn't always respond. I'll sometimes get a voice of reason, and that's him coming through, but he's more of just an everything. Like these others are here to guide us, right? So I want to touch on real quick how this is possible and plausible. So in the Bible, there have been many events with Noah, with Moses, with the 3 wise men, just some examples of all these people who have had connections with Spirit, with God, with the angels. They have been warned, they have been given messages. I'm the same way, and there are many of you who are the same as well. Disciples, prophets, and need to start coming out now. If you are not, start coming out. Start coming out and sharing. There are many who have dreams, who are able to hear and connect, who just get this sudden urge, the sudden thought, this kind of feeling. You know, however it may come, it comes different for people. But that is a sign, that is a clue, and it's time to stop being afraid to be who you truly are and share your gifts and share your knowings, your visions, your dreams, and I mean on a deep level. If you are talking to angels, hearing from angels, God, mass teachers, I'll call it teachers. If you're we are sent these things. So some can talk directly to, like me, I'm a medium. Others, just like I said, have dreams or feelings or hearing. So I want to say that. And then I'll also go into here now how I wanted to try and say, for a religious person, this is plausible because it's been in the Bible and many other writings that there are people who can hear. And then, of course, there are disciples or people who choose to follow and listen to these events that people are trying to warn people of. So let's get back to this event then. So with this event, you know, when I first awakened, I'm going to stop before the event. When I first awakened, I've always been somebody who could communicate with the other side, okay? But I shut it off. For a long time, I shut it off. And then when I was pregnant with my second, it kind of flipped back on, and then I had a near-death experience, which really just flipped it on and said, okay, you have something to do here. You are here. There's a reason, and here's what you're supposed to do. And I was shown in my NDE what life is all about. I was shown my life review, my kids when they were older. I was given a gift, I say, gifted with Divine Mother energy, like I was finally able to step into it. That is why I am in Mother Mary archetype, because I work, and that's why I work a lot with moms. But I have this prophetic, these visions that I get as well. Many of them I just write down, and I don't share many of them, but I thought, and they thought, that this one is worth sharing. So, yes, when my near-death experience happened, that really just opened a lot and really put me on my path, and very non-judgmental, you know, to try and open people's eyes, you know, that it's not one thing. Love is the answer. Love is the key. Okay, so back with the event now. So with the event that is said to happen. Now, so I'm going to go back to that real quick. I did not know of any spiritual people, all these people who are said to be, like the current spiritual people, or who are known in the spiritual world, like Doreen Virtue, Edgar Casey, these kind of people. I didn't know who those people were. I still haven't even looked too much into them, okay? But going back to that, so when I first really awakened, I had no idea who these people were. I just found a local woman who knew about angels, because that's what I was seeing, was angels. And I'm going to tell you, angels do not come in an angelic form like you see in books. They come as light. And eventually you put a form to them because it's just easier, but they're not like that. They're light. They're feelings. They're colors. Okay, so when I started waking, I was receiving messages. None of these I had heard ever from anybody. I just I was receiving these messages, writing them down. I went and found a local angel woman, and I got a mentorship, and I started learning about angels and what all these things mean. What am I? What is this? And she helped me a lot, and she, let me know about angels, who they were. I realized who the archangels are, and that I am in fact a medium, that I can receive messages from the divine. I just like to call them a collective, which, like I said, if you don't know, divine is just loving angels, Jesus, Mary. If you want to put others in the category, teachers of love and wisdom. Okay, so I did not have a clue on many of the current or past who people in the spiritual world talk about. Edgar Cayce, Doreen Virtue. I had no idea of any of these. I have things that I wrote down, and I consulted directly and asked them. So the information I receive is not from a Bible or a book or from other people. It is direct from the loving teachers, sources through love and wisdom. Mother Mary, Jesus, the loving angels. And I also go direct to God, but like I said, he doesn't always answer. He's just everywhere and everything. Okay, so now back to the event. So the event is there's supposed to be a shifting of plates under the ocean within the next 10 years. And so this shift is going to cause other things. Bring up Lemuria, Atlantis, okay? And I just started learning about Lemuria and Atlantis when I started getting into the spiritual world, probably about a year ago. And even then, I don't know the story about them. I've just heard they're Atlanteans and Lemurians, but I really don't know about them. I ask them when I'm not sure. And then I read and look. So after I ask, I read and look, and all of my things coincide, and they're the same. Whoever, certain people, Edgar Cayce is one, he is real, he is the real deal, because I had got the same information. That's how I also know when my information is the same, and it always is, as somebody who's truthful, and I can tell when they're actually telling the truth and right and all that stuff, comparing. So I went on to read about the event after I asked, is this true? And then they said, yes, this is actually going to happen. Gave me the vision, took me back to the dream that I had with the vision of the plates shifting, bringing back up these Atlantis and Lemuria. And then I started reading, and I saw that Edgar Cayce is one who actually predicted this as well. And so I went and read that and saw that, and I'm like, well, wow. So, I mean, we're always on the same page pretty much, us prophets, prophecies. We get the same information. So, after consulting and going through, so I started seeing this map. Like I said, I'm going to put it in the comments as soon as I'm done. So this map was very accurate. This is supposed to be happening within the next 10 years. And so here's my message. Many who, in whatever community you're in, I don't care, I'm talking to everybody, religious, spiritual, none, doesn't matter. You feel an urge, if you feel a knowingness, if there's just something you're not quite happy with in your current situation, spiritual, religion, whatever, because you feel there's more, there's something that you should be doing. Now's the call out. We're here to call out. Call out to let you know it's okay. Come out. Come into your purpose. Come into your path. And there will be leaders, new people. The wickedness is going down, under, gone. This is how the new ways start. So I couldn't for a long time understand, how do we get the new way to start? What's the new earth? How's it going to happen? You know, there's too much evil. There's too much wicked. I mean, it's hard. What do we do? But after this revelation that I've just come with, this event that's to happen, they said this is how. People now should be preparing. People now should be stepping into their purpose, their path, preparing. Stop being afraid if you get dreams, visions, hear things, start opening up to it, and also use protection. Seek people who know what they are doing, because there are a lot of tricky people and beings as well. So seek those who, it's all out of love, okay? No crazy weird stuff. Seek through love and protection, loving divine guidance, okay? Yes, protection is huge. And let's see if there's anything else going on. Yes. Okay, Doreen, yes. I've seen some stuff and I've heard some stuff. I'm not quite sure what's going on there, but anyway, I'm just here to bring this out, to let people know, to get into the path, into your path, your purpose, where you're meant to be, because this is our leeway, this is our lead time into when we get to this point, we're ready. Okay, we're to be ready. Not everyone, of course, not everyone will be ready, but the sooner you can open up and get into the truth of who you are, be that leader for yourself and others, or be the disciples. Start listening, opening up to people who do know these things. Allow it. Like I said, just find a loving leader who's all of love. But yes, whether you follow or lead, get into that place of divine guidance and get ready, because it is to happen. What they say is soon, within 10 years. But the faster, people can come into where they belong, then it goes smoother. And of course, there's gonna be wars. We're in a spiritual battle now. There's a spiritual battle now. This is the battle, and it's either way it's gonna end with a new way, because so I've asked about certain things like, when is this mass stuff gonna end? When is all this gonna be done? But they say all is in divine timing, and it really won't matter, because with this event, a lot of things are going to change. So I want to share that with you all, and it's exciting, because now we can look forward and say, okay, this is what happens, how we get there. But then it also can be kind of scary for some. But I would advise anybody on the West Coast to move away. Yes, I would. So it's going to be quite a bit coming in. So the middle of USA and over should be okay. A lot of the other countries are going to be going under. Some will get bigger, and ones will rise that some spiritual people know about. Like I said, Atlantis, Lemuria, maybe others have heard. But yes, that is what's supposed to happen. That is the message I'm supposed to bring. Always keep yourself divinely guided, divinely protected. And if you guys want to reach out to me as well, I do know a lot more than I share with many people. And sometimes they say, go ahead and share this. And here we go. I guess let's get ready, start bringing your people, finding your people, everyone, and others. Just start awakening, coming into the truth of who you are, finding yourself, being yourself, leading, discipling, whatever way is your way. And all the love and blessings to all. And I will talk to you guys later, see you guys later, and that's it. Bye, guys.